All right, if you're serious about getting a top score on the IELTS speaking test, you already know that part 3 is the real beast. So today we're going to break it down and figure out exactly how to tame it.
And let's be real, the stakes couldn't be higher. This is the moment, the deciding factor that really separates a good score from a truly great one.
To get why, you got to understand the whole test. Think of it this way. Part 1 is just the warm-up. It's basically asking, hey, can you speak English? Part 2 is about organizing your thoughts. But Part 3? Oh, that goes way deeper. It's really asking, can you actually think in English?
So yeah, let's get into why we call this the deciding round. It's not just about talking. It's about having a real discussion and building on your ideas, all while you're under pressure.
So what does it look like? Well, it's a 4 or 5 minute discussion, and it usually spins off from your Part 2 topic. But the questions get, way more abstract and opinion-based. They're designed to push you, to make you explain, compare, and really evaluate things. And remember, the magic word here is discussion, not interview. And this is where so many people trip up. They treat Part 3 like it's just another Part 1, but they're totally different. Part 1 is all about you, it's personal, it's concrete. Part 3 is about society, about bigger abstract ideas. If you mix those two up, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit a wall with your score.
Okay, so if you want to nail this, you have to get inside the examiner's head. When they're asking you these really tough questions, what are they actually listening for?
This is the million-dollar question, right? And I'll tell you right now, the answer is not what most people think. It has nothing to do with having the right opinion or trying to sound like some kind of genius.
This is a massive mindset shift, so listen up. The examiner could not care less if your opinion is correct. What they're testing is how you say it. Can you explain your ideas clearly? Can you develop them in a logical way? Can you use interesting grammar and vocabulary? It's all about the process, not the final answer. So now that we know what they want, how do we give it to them? Well, you need a plan, a reliable framework you can lean on for almost any question they throw at you.
And here it is. It's a simple 4-step structure that makes you sound totally in control and logical. First, just state your opinion. Second, explain why you think that. Third, back it up with an example. And fourth, wrap it up by describing the result. Opinion, reason, example, result. That's it. It's that simple. Let's see how that works in real life. You start with your opinion. I think this trend is becoming more common. Then give your reason. Because people are more dependent on technology. Perfect. Now for an example. For example, many students now prefer online learning. And you finish with the result, which has changed how education works overall. See that? A beautiful, well-structured, fully developed answer. Okay, here's another classic question that causes a lot of stress. How long are your answers supposed to be? I mean, if they're too short, you sound like you have nothing to say. But if they're too long, you might start rambling. So what's the sweet spot? You want to aim for about 30 to 45 seconds. That gives you just enough runway to hit all 4 steps of that structure without getting lost or losing the examiner's attention. Just remember, we're going for depth here, not just length.
So now that you know what you should do, let's talk about what you should not do. There are a few really common traps that can just sink your band score if you're not careful.
This is a big one. It's that moment of panic. The examiner asks some super abstract question, and your mind is just empty. You don't have a strong opinion one way or the other. What do? You take a deep breath.
because you don't need one. Seriously, it's okay. In fact, giving a balanced, thoughtful answer can actually make you sound more mature. Just use phrases like, well, I think it depends, or, there are a few different ways to look at that. These are perfect for opening up the topic so you can explore both sides.
And please, whatever you do, avoid these band killers. First, don't start telling personal stories about your family. This isn't part 1 anymore. Second, don't give a tiny one-sentence answer. Don't panic and go quiet. And please stop trying to guess what you think the examiner wants to hear. Just focus on your own ideas. When you put all this stuff together, you'll feel a shift. You'll go from just trying to survive part 3 to actually using it to rack up some serious points. This slide basically says it all. A Band 6 speaker, they answer the question. A Band 7+ speaker, they do more. They explain their answer. They extend their ideas. They show how those ideas connect logically. And that right there is the difference between good and great. So if you remember one thing, let it be this. Your job in part 3 isn't to be right. It's to be clear. It's not about having some world-changing opinion. It's about having the confidence to explain the ideas you do have. Once you master that, you stop just surviving and you really start scoring.